Welcome. My name is Chris Parfit with Ida Culver House, Ravenna, and I'm delighted to introduce Beth Schmidt, who has joined us today to present Downsize to the Right Size. Beth Schmidt is the Move Manager and Downsize Specialist at HB Move Management and has assisted hundreds of clients with their moves. Whether you're moving to a new home or a retirement community, Beth can provide the approach and the solutions necessary to ensure a successful transition. Beth, you are now the host of the webinar, so you can share your presentations with our audience. Thank you so much, and take it away.
Okay. Just catching up. My background, let's see, many years ago, 20 years or almost 20 years ago, I had a company with 45 employees. And then I'm tired of that. We were a wholesale manufacturer. And then I just sold my designs to companies and such like that for a number of years. And then I quit. And then my husband said, I thought you were gonna get a job. I said, in the fall I am. He said, it's September. So, and then in 2006, I started with HB Move Management. And I'll tell you what, it's a wonderful company. And us teaming up not too long after that with Era Living has been a wonderful organization to work with. And yet we work with lots of, retirement communities and all kinds of people that want to be moved, etc. But anyway, HB Move Management is a sub-company of Hanson Brothers Moving and Storage. And we have, like I say, a great relationship with Era Living. Hanson Brothers started in 1890, so they've been around a while.
That's great.
Our seminar goals today, we want to know when we're going to downsize and organize, and where are we going to do it, and why are we going to do it, and how do we start? But we've got lots of resources to offer you. And I will say, you can send us an email saying you want an email to you. You could ask us to mail you the pages and everything. You don't have to write down everything I say, because we have information and phone numbers and websites listed here for you. So we have really resources available, definitely. So, our cartoon isn't on there. There it is. Does this sound familiar when you take a look at it? What do? We organize, we downsize, we can set up a program with you. And, if you do need organizing, we can do as much or as little as you want us to do. And we will downsize to the right size. We can organize donations to be even for unique situations. If you've got something that, and we know a number of people that want things, whether it's art supplies, whether it's a little bit of artwork or some very vintage photos, etc., like that. We know people who want them, and that's one of the things that we do. We help you with floor planning if you need that. Whether it's giving you a 1/4-inch scale little cutout pieces for a 1/4-inch scale floor plan, or for doing the move planning, which is here, this is going to fit here, this is going to fit there, this is what you want, how much will fit in that kitchen, how many drawers you got. That's we definitely can do the planning. And we actually pack if you need it, or work with your family member to help packing and unpacking and removing the debris that was in all that packing stuff. We definitely do that. And we can coordinate with, if you're working with Hanson Brothers for your move, we can coordinate that move with them. So, so that it's a good move. We actually put away the stuff from the boxes and set up your new apartment or your new home. And so that way, when you wake up the next morning, guess what? Your coffee pot's working and your stuff is pretty much put away. But like I say, we can do as much or as little as you want us to do. What do we do? Downsizing is a large trend right now. I mean it is a large trend. And so many people are doing it, especially over the age of 65. It's crazy. It's, anyway, I will say, here's a few facts. From 2010 to 2030, the people over 65 years of age will have increased by 80%. That's crazy. Okay, and by 2030, 1 in 5 people will be 85 years or older. Is that correct? That's, yeah, this is amazing. And another little fact check, reality check, is our kids don't want our stuff. That's so strange. I mean, go figure. But so many of us now in the trend to downsize and organize, we want to use our space more efficiently. That is one of the big trends. Another trend in the downsizing, which a lot of times we flood the market with all of our stuff, but there's the internet. So there's all kinds of ways to look it up, find things that you can donate where and whatever, and I'm going to give you that information. But another reality check is in the Northwest markets, doesn't bring as much money in the Pacific Northwest for unique, possibly furniture, vintage, very, very vintage. But that's just how it works. And the current changes that have happened because of the coronavirus, things have changed. Sometimes you got to call the donation place that you want to take it, or the consignment store that you want to take it to, and say, could I bring? And sometimes they'll say, no, we're not taking any more things until next Friday. Okay, so in the things that we can mail to you, gives you phone numbers and information for donations and other places and things like that. How do we begin? Okay, I want to say you need to think, if wishes came true, when would I want this stuff to happen? When would I want my living room or what area of my home organized or downsized or whatever? So I want to say, make a list, room by room, space by space. And so just on a notepad or whatever, write down the I knows. I know I want this. I know I've hated that chair. It's too hard to get out of it, if it's the living room. Or I know I want to organize all of those kitchen drawers and make the cupboards more efficient. So you're going to make a list of I know, and if wishes came true, a time frame. I'd like my kitchen and the bathrooms completed before the holidays. That's good. Okay, do that. But I want to also say, check it off your list. If you have done what your goal was to do, check it off. Sometimes I even write the date of when I completed that little project. And then I want to say, try the dot system. If you're going to keep it, sell it, donate it. Pick different colors for, I want to keep this. Yellow for if I want this sold, or red if I need it donated or recycled, or, but also there might be some things that we can give to our families. And still that whole trend on our families saying no to a lot of stuff, but ask them if they could come, if they said yes to something, if they could come and pick it up and take it with them. There you go. One less thing to have to take care of. So how to begin is you're going to go room by room on that and make those lists. And on the donation part, consider, and I'll talk about them, some really unique ways to donate things. It doesn't have to just be to a thrift store. Okay. There might be a list on there that you need to discard it, or it's hazmat, or I want this recycled. I need the dump guy to come pick it up. We've got great connections for you. If you need the dump guy to come, very reasonable prices. And maybe we should just begin here. What do I do with my stuff? Okay. I'll tell you, there are estate sales. We have people we've worked with for years and years and years that we can hook you guys up to see, do you have enough for an estate sale? If you're moving in a year, You know what? It might even be worth it if you kind of know that you're moving into a 2-bedroom or 1-bedroom and you need about this stuff. All the rest of the stuff you don't want is letting the estate sale person come by, take a quick look and say, you know what? You don't really have enough stuff here for an estate sale. Or you know what? You do. So, but the people that do estate sales pretty much want you to have moved before they'll do your sale, because they don't want strange people coming into your space and there's your private stuff. That's not a good idea. Okay, we also work with a number of auction companies that we did one, let's see, last year, where she knew she was moving in a couple of months. She already knew exactly what she wanted, what would fit, and had tagged, you know, with, I think it was just blue tape on the wall or near it or whatever. That's what I want, but all the rest I want gone. We sent some photos to an auction company. They came out, took a look at it, and they said, yes, we'll do this auction. She was in an apartment building and she couldn't have an estate sale there. So they came up, packed up all the stuff, took it to their facility where they did auctions. They did virtual auctions, actual ones. They did eBay. They had a whole bunch of ways to sell their stuff. So, you know, we can hook you up with somebody. Consignment is you got to take the stuff pretty much to them and they say, yes, they want it, or no, they don't want it, and you got to take it back. Or sometimes they will say absolutely yes through photos. Most of the time they want to see it. So either they might come and take a look depending on what it is you want to consign. But like with estate sales, auctions, consignment, you pay kind of a fee, commission fee or whatever for what you sold. It might be 35 to 50% at an estate sale. It might be real similar. Some of the auctions are a little bit lower, but it could be similar. And consignment, 35 to 55, whatever. There's a number of places, and it's a good question to ask, but that's how those work. Generally call, make an appointment, etc. Dealers, we work with, whether it's people that buy gold, silver, costume jewelry, you got a stamp collection, you got a penny collection, you got a stamp, not stamps, all different kinds of collections. We can have the dealer come and see you, and between the two of you, they'll say, this is what we would buy this for. And you can say yes, or can I think about it, and then let you know, and then you pay it. They'll take them away right then and there. But we can recommend someone to you for the things that you say that you need. Donations, we have a number of them, and we'll send you the website for the thriftshopper.com. That lists hundreds, I'd say thousands. You put in your zip code and it says what in this area, you label what you want to donate or whatever, and it says who wants to take it. And many of the times it'll even tell them what they do with the money they earn at those thrift stores or at those donation places, etc. And this is where we'll find out, like if you have things that are, you know, torn, shoes don't match, this and that, they can be thread cycle, and we'll give you the email lookup on them, like kingcounty.gov/solid waste. And you say what I want to get rid of, and it actually lists their places, who wants or who will take and whatever. Recycling, I consider that a bunch of paper that I need shredded. Okay. Shred events, they've got several going on this month, next month. Shred events are Attorney General's website, atg.wa.gov, and you just type in free shred events and that lists them. And so that's a really cool way to recycle that paper. But we also have companies that will assist and will share it with you and go on to the next thing. All right, specific guidance. We're going to start with furniture. What do you do? How can you sell? What's trending, et cetera, et cetera. But I will tell you this. Your goal in selling furniture, this is according to one of the consignment stores that we've dealt with for a number of years, Trish from Bellocchio, who said, your goal is to make 10% of what you paid cash for that furniture. So if you paid $35,000 for that sofa, guess what? You're trying to make $350. I'm sorry. So now you're trying to make $350 on that furniture. But I will say mid-century is selling. Depression glass, or depression furniture, depression era is not bringing in much money. Partly because, fact check, our parents did, and many of us did, we bought mass-produced furniture, and it doesn't hold its value. So just want to kind of give you a little heads up there. And mid-century is selling, Chinese, Japanese are definitely selling, and it needs to be in really, really good condition. It can't have scratches, pet, hair, anything like that. And a lot of the consignment places and some donation places, even like, Habitat for Humanity just told me, no, we don't want any more furniture right now, sofas or chairs that have floral patterns. Okay. So sometimes it's worth a call and just verify. So the challenge is big furniture sometimes is hard to donate, hard to sell. The trend is people using their space more efficiently. So if it's just recently, I don't know, a couple months ago, it was a beautiful, great big armoire. It was gorgeous. It looked brand new, but I think after a week or so, we finally found some donation places to take it. But when they're great big, they sit there too long and they don't sell. And because that's not people's trend. That generation, the next one down, the younger ones, they are using more efficient spaces, which doesn't take great big furniture. Sorry about that. So I told you about the it's being in good condition. And I will say sometimes let's just take a look. We worked with a customer downtown. He had a condominium. Was it condominium? I don't know. Anyway, but his whole place, he says, I want this to go. Who are those people that you guys work with at children's place? Oh, children's hospital bargain boutiques? Yes. Okay. I took photos of all those furniture and end tables and lamps and pictures and all that stuff, and we sent that off to them. The reason I did that is because they don't take huge furniture. They don't take this and that. But this was gorgeous stuff. The sofa, he said he paid $18,000 for it. And so she took a look at those pictures and she said, absolutely, Beth, we know how we can use that and how we can sell it or whatever. I'll send a truck tomorrow. Is that okay? So sometimes we gotta, think a little outside the box on that one, just saying. Furniture. Well, okay, so how about clothing? What do we do with the extra clothes? Okay, this is a tough one. So you open up that closet and look at that stuff and goes, okay, if I was shopping right now, today, right now, would I buy that and wear it? Okay, if the answer is no, then guess what? It'll definitely sell at the estate sale. It'll definitely sell at auctions, and sometimes consignment will take it. But the challenge with that is you got to have perfectly dry cleaned furniture, current styles, not furniture, clothing, and then guess what? They might, after you call, make an appointment to go show them, they might keep 10%. No, you take all the rest home. So it's great to donate. It is great to donate clothing. It is. I want to suggest that you do this one other trick, is do the reverse coat hanger in your closet. Right now we put them all on the hook like this, we do. But what if we turned it around and had it the other way? And then as soon as you wear it, you put it back the regular way. Okay, so that way you can take a look in a month, 2 months, couple times, whatever. I didn't even wear those. Oh, and look at, there's dust on it. I don't need to keep that. Let me donate that. So, and that's kind of cool. But it feels good to donate clothing to Mary's Place or to different consignment. A different thrift stores, etc. Dress for Success. But those mismatched clothing, shoes, socks, whatever. And if they're torn, they're just totally, in bad shape. Let's do Thread Cycle. I'm telling you, you put them in a bag, and I'll send you the email and information on that. And then the thrift stores will give it to the right, so that it is done properly. It doesn't hurt our earth. And donation places are doing it, and lots of places are doing it. Go to thriftshopper.com and you will find lots of places to take clothing. Okay. Kitchen items. Let's downsize all of those duplicates. Okay, before I get totally into that, I want to let you know, quilts are selling. They honestly are. And the 1980s Rolex watches, those are selling too, because some of them have a little bit of gold on them and they bring some good money back. Designer handbags. Okay, finish back into the kitchen now. Get rid of the duplicates. Pull out those drawers, and because they're on your list to downsize in the kitchen. Okay. When was the last time you used this? Okay, somebody in one of the seminars said, well, how many can openers do you have? Guess what? I went home, I checked, and there was 5. And we only used 3. So I'm just saying, we can downsize for certainly. Yes, they'll sell an estate sale, they'll sell an auction, and definitely donation wants those things. They really do. And I would say, do a test. If you are moving, how much space do you have? In those drawers, a little measurement. And so that you're not taking too much stuff, and especially if you don't use it all the time. So lift those dishes that you haven't been using in a while, but you want to use them, keep them. Are they too heavy? Are they heavy for our sore hands nowadays? Think about that. And the china that our kids don't want. Remember the old unique Rosenthal or Haviland patterns? They were really pretty rare and such. They used to cost $100 a plate. You can't get $10 a plate now. We've flooded the market with stuff, and you can buy them in thousands of different places online. So the prices are definitely lower, but I would say it's worth a call if you've got a set or most of a set and it's in good condition. Call replacements.com. They have been known to now and then buy some of that china and such because they need a full set to be selling. And we've a number of people at the seminars who said that's what they did. So I'm liking that idea. But I will say some of the consignment places, they're saying, we don't want your KitchenAid or your Waterford Crystal. What do you mean you don't want our Waterford Crystal? Well, not until it's a holidays time do we want that. I'm going, what? They said, because it doesn't sell much now. But when it gets to the holidays, yes, we'll be able to sell them. So I will say donation is still a great source because so many women's groups need more things for the kitchen. And some of the thrift stores really price them right so that people who don't have much money can get what they need for their kitchen. Just saying. Okay. What about books? Yes, a lot of thrift stores are still taking some books. They're not taking very many dictionaries, or they're not taking very many encyclopedias, if any. But I will say this is one of my favorite things is Friends of the Seattle Public Library. They do want your books, and a number of the Salvation Army, St. Vincent de Paul, they'll take a box or 2 of books. But also that Mangus Books in Seattle, it's over there on 42nd. You might need to call if you've got some to show them. But you could just go in there and take a look at what the prices are, what it's worth. Sometimes they sell, buy, and once in a while they trade. So just kind of get some information of what do I want to do with these books. But I will definitely say donating can work out also. But can I give you just one little tip if you've got to downsize and you got too many books? So go to that piece of furniture, the bookshelf, and pick 2 or 3 shelves. Take everything off of those shelves unless you absolutely want it and need to keep it. Put what you want to keep on those shelves. And then the other shelves, make those the ones that you don't want anymore, that you're happy to donate, happy to try to sell, whatever. That's a good downsizing tip. But I will say this, we helped somebody move a couple times, and then her husband was a UW professor, German professor, and he passed away, and she said, what am I going to do with all these? There's more than 1,000 books here. What am I going to do? And so I just called the UW and said, this is what we've got here. This is the professor that was, with you for 20 some odd 30 years. And they said, okay. They sent 3 or 4 guys, packed it all up and took it to the UW. So sometimes we need to think outside the box a little bit, what to do with our books. And it might be a group, a boys and girls club that wants just a few, but you can ask them, what few do you need? What do you want to do? And another tip, please, if you're going to donate them, don't put them in a great big box. It is too heavy. Do something about, I don't know, 12 inches, 15 inches, not too big. Don't make it weigh more than 20 pounds. And 20 pounds is a lot. I mean it. Or I sometimes put them in the 13-gallon white bag, and don't make it too heavy, but that way I set it in my car and I drive over and donate it. So libraries are still taking some stuff. We just donated some a week ago. Anyway, the small box, consider estate sale, auction, that they'll move to. And I'll send you the info on mangusbooks.com, or Seattle.com. And I'll send you that info, because that's a good place to find out what's it worth. Okay, now the next thing's, what do I do with my stuff? What do I do with old electronics? Well, there are still a number of donation places that are taking some old electronics. They might want a TV only about, this big, the old TV, the deep one. They'll take that, but they won't take that great big one. So, but you can look up earth911.com or the kingcounty.gov solid waste. And you can just say what electronics you want, cameras, you want computers, TVs, what is it that you want to give, and they'll list the places that want them and know what to do with them, and keeping the earth clean too. One Green Planet, they're in Renton. They're taking any electronics, any cords, anything, as well as metal. They'll do that too. Best Buy, you can still, I just checked, drop off 3 things. But you can't drop off more than that at your visit. So anyway, kingcounty.gov solid waste does list what they'll take, where it goes. And so that's a really, really, really cool one to use. Pictures. Okay, we've got all these pictures in whatever they are, catalogs, not. And some of them, we don't even know who they are. My hot tip is put a note on the back of it, or on a piece of paper taped to the back, that says, this is my cousin from Texas, Alex, or from West Virginia, Tommy. Anyway, put notes with them so you know, because you know what? My mom and dad are both gone. I have no one to ask who these people are. But I will say this, consider doing this. Maybe doing the 15-minute rule, set the timer for 15 minutes, and you sort through this box or this drawer of pictures. Anyway, and then when the timer goes off, stop, because that you'll be more tend to do it if you set a timer on your sorting. Scancafe.com, legacybox.com. You know who uses them? CNN Money, CNET, Macworld. They all use these guys because they're good. And I'll tell you that they're good. They correct the color in the picture. If it's like those Polaroids that are what, how many years old? 30. But that person, you love them or whatever, it's good memories. They correct the color or the tear. My brother took 5 tubs, huge, big plastic tubs. And this is before there was a Scan Cafe or a Legacy Box. And he took it downtown Seattle, and they just, digitized every single thing, every movie, every slide, And also every card that was in there and letters that were in there. He didn't even know those were in there because he didn't sort anything, but they digitized all of it. And so Scan Cafe or Legacy Box will give you a jump drive. They'll put it in the cloud. They'll put it on archival quality DVD, however you want it, they'll do it. And you can also look through those pictures and go, I think they let you not do 30, 40% or something. I don't want that one. I don't want that one. I don't want that one. I want these. You could do it or just do like my brother did. We want them all. Okay. It cost us about $5,000 that year. And we were furious that he spent that much money. But when it came around the holidays, we were so thrilled that we had those. It was wonderful. So I want to challenge you to do a $50 experiment. Pick 50 pictures or slides and then get that Costco coffee table book digitized thing so that once your pictures, you've got them all corrected and done, drag and drop it into the program and then put in, this is Dad's favorite such and such. This, type in the information and it's an experiment. Doesn't have to be perfect. And you got a coffee table book that you're going to pick up over and over and over again and look at it. When you have those slides or you have those videos or whatever, how cool is it to do a disc or whatever, or just electronically in the background? What do I keep doing for my friends? I choose you again. I've made it for my husband, and we got pictures, the history of us, and we're married coming up 50 years. And I do it for friends when it's their birthday. Okay, background music is Don't Be Ashamed of Your Age by Willie Nelson. And funny pictures. You just go through that. And so many of my friends have said, you know how many times I've watched that? Thank you. So it's fun to do something with your stuff. Come on, we got to do that. Okay, I want to say this. We moved a teacher that worked up in Bellingham at a school, and I think she was almost 90. She says, I'm moving. What am I going to do with this stuff? I don't have any place for it. And she had albums, she had pictures, she had letters, she had all kinds of information from being a teacher. What are you going to do with this? And I went, okay. I called the school and said we had a few things. I didn't know totally how much we had. We sent it all to them up in Bellingham. The letter of thank you that they got back, it was a total tearjerker. They were so thrilled to get that. So sometimes we need to think outside the box. And a number of years back, and of course, Hanson Brothers moved Mohi, but there were some World War I pictures, very vintage, that we just thought, what the heck, let's ask them if they want it. And they definitely wanted it. Artwork that was carved wood. They weren't very wide pieces of card. They were round, but they were painted by Northwest American Indians. And the client did not want to sell them. They wanted to go to the right places. Took photos, sent them off to the Burke Museum. They said no. So I went up one step because I kind of know somebody that makes decisions at the Burke. And then they said, okay, bring me one, let me see it. So just to verify. Okay, we did that. They took all of them. They were thrilled to get it. And our customer was so happy. It's at the Burke. It is so cool. But I will say again, on that 15-minute rule, set 15 minutes and go through your pictures or your slides or your videos. I had no idea my brother did this. I found it out last year. It was many years before that. He had to key in a special code to go on, I think it was YouTube. And I found out he did a movie of me interviewing my parents when that was their 40th anniversary. I had no idea he took a movie. Oh my gosh, the information, it was such a gift, such a treat. I'm not kidding you. It was wonderful. All right. You'll like those old movies too. It'll crack you up. Let's go to music. That's one of my favorite things too. I love music. And I will say blues, jazz, pop, rock and roll, and some not popular, the old country. Those are still selling, but guess what else? Vinylhub.com is where you can look up all kinds of music. You can, and kind of get an idea of, what it's worth and who wants it, etc. But I'll tell you what, vinyl is selling again. It is. The last couple of months, more vinyl was sold than CDs. So there, just saying, vinyl is in again. I like it. It's a little place. I mean, actually, it's got hundreds of thousands of music, but I'll mail it to you. Jive Time Records. It's out there on Fremont, I think. Yeah. Anyway, they buy, sell, and sometimes trade too. But it's cool to go in and find out what it might be worth. A lot of times they're going to want it to be in really good condition. But I'll say this, if you've got a limited edition record, so they didn't make too many of them, that might be rare and could be super valuable, super. It's worth it to find out. But I'll go to, I'll look up at Vinyl Hub, I'll look up at Jive Time Records, and then I go to moneymusic.com and I go over to the section that says Mighty John's section. And he says about, I don't know, every 2 weeks, or maybe it's only once a month, he'll tell you what's trending, what it's worth. And it's just interesting to know, music. Like I say, vinyl is back and it's fun. So, okay. Along here, you guys might have a couple of questions, and I'd love to answer them. But I'm going to tell you, when do we start? Guess what? Now isn't too late, and it's not too soon. So you definitely want to begin to downsize. I want to say this. It is a gift to your family that you organized and downsized. I'm not kidding you. It is truly a gift. And the encouragement and the energy it gives you when you do it. You know how many times you're going to go in and open up that junk drawer that you just organized? You're going to do it every day because it looks so good. It makes you feel good. Okay, here is some of the paperwork, and we'll give you a few more. But the donation valuation, oh my gosh, and the document retention, and on here on the document valuation guide, it lists blouses, men's jackets, and I think I told you, one man's overcoat, $60. For tax purposes, that's great. This is IRS website and Salvation Army. But it lists a whole bunch of stuff in here, and we're going to send that to you. But how long do I keep my papers? Downsizing tips. This is it is honestly a good one. It lists plans, floor, it just lists the whole thing here, and you'll enjoy it, read it, and it's a reality check. It honestly is. The downsizing flow chart. Oh my gosh, where is it? I don't think I have it here somewhere. But anyway, we give you a flow chart and it says, do I want this? Do I not want this? This is what I do with it. It's a great flow chart. It's great. Okay. And we have a checklist and a timeline that we will include so that if if you've got a month or you got, 6 months, however long to do this, it's a great list that we will include in there. And then what do I do with my stuff? We've got that list. We'll send that to you. And a lot of them have, or we will send you a list of donation places or a list of the shredding places or a list, a list, and then we'll send that to you too. But if you do have questions, I do want to answer them. So how does HB Move Manage work? Simply make a call. Call our office, and I'll give you that number here in a second, and identify what services you need. And we will send a person or a team to create a personalized plan and help you make some decisions and see what it's going to do and introduce you to our screened service providers. I mean, if you need a realtor, we can recommend a couple people. We honestly can. We can coordinate each one of these services. We can do as much or as little as you need. And we could definitely ensure a successful move process. We definitely can do that. And we can work with your family doing this. We really can. So when to get started? I love this one. Does that sound familiar? When's the time to plant a tree? 20 years ago. Second best time now. So that's like it is for downsizing. So HB Move Management, this key to successful moving is starting early. And contact us, give us a call. We'll do that planning and anything you need done. Preparing your home for sale. The realtor said you got to move these around, move that, or do this, donate, get rid of it. We will definitely help you coordinate, do as much or as little as you need. And floor planning for your new space, making sure what you think you want to take, this is how it fits. I've even got a kit that's the actual size pieces of plastic of the bed, or king size bed, whatever size bed, dining room tables, this and that, just because sometimes that vision really, really helps you. We can do a lot, and we can pack your belongings and coordinate that mover, getting it there, and then unpack and put it away where you wanted it so you can find the stuff. We can work as a team too. Packing and resettling your new home. That's definitely what we do. Okay, visit us on hbmovemanagement.com. And here's my boss's email, which is coordinator@hbmovemanagement.com. And our phone number is 206-257-4314. Again, 206-257-4314. And you can also let Air Living know, hey, all that stuff Beth talked about, could you tell her to send it to me? We can send it email, or we can send paper. So there it is, and you got it in front of you as you need it. Okay, questions, send them my way. Oh, sorry. Are you on? Tina, got any questions for me?
Does anyone have any questions for Beth? Beth, thank you. That was fantastic. We'd love to hear from our audience because there's always questions about downsizing. Raymond McCready says, thank you, Beth. That was a great presentation.
Thank you.
And Tina says, what was the place you said would only take 3 things? Beth?
Well, I can't think of that. Only take, oh no, if you went to Best Buy and you had electronics you want to get rid of, they only take 3 things per visit. But it's still worth it to call if it's a thrift store, or check them out online, because they're giving new information now since the virus, is no, we're not taking this right now. We have way too many. Well, Salvation Army, no, it was St. Vincent de Paul in Kenmore. They weren't taking anything for another week. So I'm glad I called and checked on it before I just went and dropped it off. So
Beth, we've discovered the same thing here at Culver House, Ravenna, for people who are even downsizing inside their own apartment. They've lived there for the last 7 months, and they're finding that they can get rid of a few things. But also my husband and I are downsizing our basement. Also, we have to call every single time we want to go to any place to donate due to COVID, and understandably.
And it saves time. We didn't have to used to do things like that, but let's just deal with what's going on,
Exactly. Yeah. Any other questions about downsizing? Concerns that you might have, especially about records and books? We always think we have such the investment in that.
I forgot to mention something. I had so many art supplies because we were a wholesale manufacturer, and we made porcelain stuff and paper stuff and whatever. We made all kinds of stuff. But I had all those art supplies. I just called up a couple of the Boys and Girls Clubs, and they said, you bet we'll take them. We'll take it all.
Yeah, and that's great, Beth. That's really good. We do have a question from Raymond. He says, is it free to get a quote on organizing?
I believe they'll tell you probably whatever the hourly wage is, but a lot of times they can send, Nicole is one of our salespeople who goes and looks, listens to what you want done, plan, whatever. She can give you lots of information, but she can also send me, and I will come and do a walkthrough with you. And it does cost a little bit, but right now at, what was the name of that Era Living? Lakeshore. They're helping pay for some of your expenses if you're moving there. Okay, any other questions?
Any other questions?
I could ask my boss if we still have a coupon for, we might still have a coupon to come for us to do some downsizing and such.
Great, excellent.
Yeah.
Well, it looks pretty quiet in the chat section there, Beth. Thank you so much. That was outstanding.
Well, you have a
And-
wonderful community that we all enjoy.
That's great. Go ahead and unshare your screen if you haven't already, and I will share mine.
Okay.
All right.
I, of course, don't really remember how to do that, but Eric does. Good.
All right. So thank you so very much for your time, our wonderful audience. We really appreciate that you have joined us today. And remember, we will email you Beth's contact information in case you did not write it down from her slides. And we will be sending the recording as well. We will also be including a survey sheet that we'd love for you to fill out and tell us about your experience on Zoom today. Again, my name is Chris Parfit. I'm with Ida Culver House, Ravenna.